Tonight on CTV, the city of Fort Collins has finally found an end to the U+2 ordinance.
And hear about CSU's week-long democracy summit.
Finally, a new AI task force is coming to CSU's campus. I'm Tate Paisley.
And I'm Chigozie Ozor. All that and more starting right now. In tragic news, a plane departing from Colorado met a fatal end after crashing in California. The single-engine plane departed from Centennial Airport in South Denver and crashed near Lake Tahoe in eastern California. The crash resulted in the loss of 2 lives. The victims have been identified as Lyron Petrushka, a former professional soccer player in Israel, and his wife Naomi. The aircraft missed its approach to the airport and went into a left-hand stalling spiral before crashing. Investigations by the NTSB and FAA are still underway.
This week, Colorado State University hosted a Vibrant Democracy Summit, a week-long event packed with guest speakers, workshops, and informative panels. The summit aimed to educate CSU students about their state's history and the core values of democracy. Guest panels deeply engaged with Colorado's past, diving into the lives of Native American communities who once thrived here. Students gained insights into the state's journey toward democracy, fostering a deeper understanding of their role in shaping its future. Joining forces with experts, they explore topics ranging from historical milestones to modern-day challenges.
Colorado is a state that often seems to be divided against itself. Its geography and settlements have created areas of strong regional identity. And decisions affecting the future of all Coloradans are often made with only local interests in mind.
If you are not on good terms with the word paradox, there's a lot of things about Colorado history that will just irritate you.
If you know one county in Colorado, you know one county in Colorado.
This week-long immersion is a crucial step in building informed and engaged citizens. With one more day of activities remaining, students are invited to come and deepen their knowledge of their state's political history.
Throughout April, CSU is hosting a festival and over a dozen events to celebrate Earth Month and promote sustainability. Opening with a Mother Earth-themed drag show on the 14th, the events will also include sustainability workshops, roundtables, and a performance by Colorado-based indie rock band Lady Dedham. For more information and updates on the upcoming events, visit green.colostate.edu.
After a major renovation, Rocky Mountain National Park is gearing up to reopen its popular Moraine Park campground by early summer. Closed since late May, upgrades aim to modernize facilities dating back to the 1960s. The park remains cautious about reopening dates because it's focused on stormwater and site work. Key improvements include adding electrical hookups to RV sites, enhancing water drainage, and relocating power lines underground. With parks reopening in town, people are getting anxious to get outside. With weather permitting, we have Elyse Gerke here to tell you all you need to know about this week's weather and about the solar eclipse that happened this past Monday. Elyse?
Thanks, Tate. Good evening, Rams. I'm Elyse Gerke, here to bring you tonight's weather forecast. Currently in Fort Collins, it is 59 degrees. The sun has set at 7:36 p.m. and the humidity is at 0%. On Monday, CTV's very own Max Dietz traveled to Dallas, Texas to experience the full eclipse. These shots were taken at 1:40 p.m. Central Time when the eclipse was in full effect. The path of totality crossed 4 states in Mexico, 15 states in the U.S., and 7 Canadian provinces. Unfortunately, Colorado has experienced only 60% of the eclipse. When I went outside to check it out, it looked like Mother Nature sat on the remote control for the universe's light panel and switched it to the ambient mood setting. Even though Fort Collins did not experience the full eclipse, it is still vital to wear eclipse glasses when staring at the sun for your corneas. Disclaimer, please do not stare at the sun on a normal day. It is not good for your eyes. These eclipse glasses are really dark. I can't really see anything out of them. Well, that's okay, because I won't be needing them until 2044 for the next total eclipse. Heading into overnight lows, Fort Collins is going to sit at 33 degrees, Denver at 40, Colorado Springs at 37, and Pueblo and Alamosa both have a fire warning, so watch out for that. Heading over to the eastern plains, Sterling and Lamone are going to sit at 31 degrees, Burlington at 33, and Lamar at 30. Heading over to the western slopes, Craig is going to sit at 28 degrees, Vail at 31, and Grand Junction, the warmest overnight low tonight at 44 degrees. Tomorrow, we're going to see a high of 76 and a low of 46 degrees. The sun will set 1 minute later than tonight at 7:37 p.m. and the humidity will be at 1%. The winds will head 8 miles per hour south. For the next 5 days in Fort Collins, we're going to see some warmer weather and clouds. Sunday will hit close to 80 degrees, while on Monday we could possibly see some PM thunderstorms. And that's all the weather I have for you tonight, but stick around because Karma Robbins has a story on CSU's most recent keynote speaker.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up one finger if you're a man, women, 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
Investigative reporter J.J. Mckinney attended an event featuring a keynote speaker, Linda Sarsour, an award-winning activist for civil rights and racial justice. The speaker explored how to navigate difficult conversations through a lens of cultural humanity and understanding. She talks about what she has done to help both herself and her family.
So when you ask yourself, why is Linda Sarsour this way? It's because I'm going to make my parents' sacrifices and journey to this country worth it.
Many students showed up for the event to hear her motivational words. Sarsour is showing CSU how important it is to learn about how to have these hard conversations. Now JJ McKinney has an update on one of Fort Collins' most controversial issues, U+2. JJ?
The U+2 ordinance has been the law of the land here in Fort Collins for decades now. As a controversial ordinance dictates how the citizens of Fort Collins live and who can live with them. However, in a new turn of events, the efforts of a statewide push and college administration may mean Fort Collins housing is about to change.
A lot of great things about this city, and there are a lot of great people in this city. That's what we should be known for. But unfortunately, we're also known for one of the most discriminatory housing occupancy limits in the nation, U+2.
These are the voices of a long effort to end U+2. An ordinance that has been a controversial law to the community's way of living. An effort spearheaded this year by ASCSU and its president, Nick DeSalvo.
So U+2 is a policy that existed kind of in the 1950s, and it was originally established to prevent European immigrants from coming to Fort Collins and living together if they were unrelated. But then the policy in the 2000s kind of altered, and it didn't necessarily target college students, but that's who it affected most, and that's when enforcement started to ramp up.
Now, after all these years, State House Bill 241007 may outlaw U+2 and laws like it across the state.
There's been a lot done over the course of the last 20 years in ASCSU to tackle the U+2 issue. Petition drives in the past that ASCSU has kind of headed up, but they've been unsuccessful. I think the difference in this administration is we shifted our focus from, it was still a two-lane approach. We still put pressure on the city to see if they'd do it, but we hired a lobbyist at the state capitol. We put some of our energy and resources into state legislation to get it done, and ultimately that's where we've been successful.
This campaign to end U+2 is filled by the restrictions of the ordinance. Those restrictions prohibiting more than 3 unrelated people sharing a home, no matter the size or the number of bedrooms.
I think the damage is that it drives rent prices up, and additionally, I think the reason it's being talked about more is that there's a huge affordable housing problem, not only in Colorado, but nationwide. And what the city of Fort Collins was starting to see is that around half of the violations weren't from college students. They were from everyday people, elderly folks who needed help paying the bills, and so they wanted to rent out a bedroom or two in their house, but they couldn't. They would effectively break the law if they tried to do that. And so U+2 not only affected young people, it affected everyone in the city of Fort Collins.
The law was created as a way to preserve quiet and unkept neighborhoods while regulating student living in the city. But some students believe that the law has done more harm in their life than good.
I think it seems silly because it is a college town. It limits a lot of people from doing what they need to do to survive.
I would say U+2 has definitely impacted me personally, and put me in these strange situations. Like, I live in a house right now with 4 people, and my landlord knows about that, but only 3 of us are on the lease, so it brings up this kind of, power dynamic that, I like to think my landlord wouldn't screw me by being kicking one of them out and then charging us the same amount. And then if one of our people got kicked off the lease, I would not be able to afford my housing anymore.
That's pretty ridiculous. That's all I gotta say. I mean, it's not great for a lot of people here on campus, because a lot of people here just need housing, and they need cheap housing, which is already hard to find here. So with this kind of law, it just makes it harder for everyone.
The community's pushback and ASCSU's efforts have led to the new House bill, which, if it is signed, will prohibit cities from creating or enforcing laws that limit the number of people allowed to live in a home purely based on their relationship with others.
I think that's great. I think this law really needs to just get out of here.
I think it just makes sense. I know plenty of folks who, live in homes around CSU, even if they're not going to CSU, but they have to have roommates to be able to afford where they live.
Just gives us less of a thing to have to worry about, so we can focus on the point of going to college, which is to learn and not stress about our financial situations.
It's hopes of relief like those that led ASCSU and the DeSalvo administration to get to work, pushing for this bill.
It was a massive effort and an undertaking from a lot of folks in ASCSU, and I think it just represented that among the campus community and overall Fort Collins community, folks were ready to see a change, and we packed council chambers, something that I don't think ASCSU has ever done. And I think the difference is that the political will on council existed to fix U+2. Really, the difference is when we were at the state capitol meeting with Representative Rutnell about the bill, and really when Governor Polis mentioned the piece of legislation in his State of the State address. It was at that moment I knew that U+2 is in big jeopardy.
With House Bill 241007 set to be looked at and signed in the next few weeks, after all these years, U+2's controversial effect on Fort Collins housing may finally be coming to an end.
I'm happy to say that the governor will sign it into law within the next few weeks, and I'll be at that signing ceremony. And so it means that the government can no longer tell you how many people you can have in a house that you rent or own. I don't think that's the government's responsibility. And so I view this issue as just pro-freedom.
I interact with neighbors of all backgrounds, ages, but most of all, I want to be able to afford housing. And this is what that's about. Please do the right thing. Please motion to put U+2 on the ballot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, while President DeSalvo and ASCSU senators who pushed for House Bill 241007 are hopeful about its passing, it's all up to Governor Jared Polis. Polis is yet to sign the bill and will make his final decision on it in the coming weeks. However, Polis has stated verbal support for the bill with intentions to sign it. And if he does, U+2 will be outlawed once and for all. Now with all this potential change, Mayor Jenny Arndt has some guidance about what the future of Fort Collins housing looks like and what will be done to upkeep our neighborhoods.
I think in general, people don't like to live in huge groups, right? But to have another person in a 4-bedroom house makes a lot of sense, right? As I always say, we have about 15,000 empty bedrooms, and we have people who need places to live. So it makes sense. And then we've also beefed up our public nuisance code because there's a legitimate concern about the quality of life in a neighborhood, which I trust everyone's concerned about. So no one wants to live next to the house that's not shoveled and not weeded and is unkempt, right? Or a lot of trash in the front yard or the backyard. So we have beefed up our public nuisance ordinance. It has some real teeth to it, and I think that we'll probably, when this law goes into effect, we'll also at the same time most likely beef up our enforcement on the public nuisance ordinance.
U+2 has been an ordinance for as long as many people can remember here in the Fort Collins community. And for better or for worse, it has been connected to discussions of affordable housing here in the city. Now that the ordinance may potentially be struck down, the housing landscape in Fort Collins could potentially see changes as we navigate a market without occupancy laws. We all may have to wait and see, but I, just as I've been doing in the CSU and Fort Collins community for years now, will be here to walk you through it all. Now, don't go away just yet. When we get back from the break, Chigozie will be here to talk about the 2024 Business Day.
Living with someone you don't know on the other side of the wall is hard, especially if you don't know how to be a good roommate. The first thing that you'll want to do to be a good roommate is make sure that you always stay quiet. Be considerate of others when using common spaces and appliances.
Hey buddy, what you doing?
I'm just gonna need like 40 minutes. Be respectful of your roommate's privacy. Ugh, my bad. Finally, make sure that you clean up after yourself. Oh, fresh toothbrush.
Have you seen my toothbrush?
Follow these tips to get along with your roommates and your landlord.
Welcome back from the break, Rams. CSU recently hosted its 45th annual Business Day. This year's event explores artificial intelligence and its implications on society.
And the reason we're here today is to talk about AI and how it's transforming business. In the 40 years I've been with HP, I've never seen anything like it in how it's been revolutionizing the way that people do their jobs and do their work.
In recent years, AI has transformed many different industries and has shifted the way people think about the future of tech. CSU invited 6 AI experts from diverse fields to share their experiences with students.
Learning how to use AI is going to be quintessential to job placement, as well as like even becoming someone that's capable of like moving around in society, you know. And so I got a lot of value from these talks.
With many concerned that AI will take over the world, Business Day aims to provide useful information and collaborative learning opportunities to curious students.
In a recent summit, it was announced that Colorado State University will establish a cross-campus artificial intelligence task force. This announcement comes amid the rapid expansion of AI technology by firms like OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft. Executive Vice President of CSU, Marion Underwood, emphasized the responsibility they have to prepare students to critically work with AI tools in the future. As this team is formed, CSU hopes to gather insights from leaders in various fields to ensure a multifaceted approach to this rapidly evolving technology. Now, Matt Greenwald has an exclusive interview involving two of CSU's most iconic athletes. Matt?
Thanks, Tate. Welcome back to Suiting Up. This week we have a special interview featuring two GOATs. I had the pleasure to sit down with Isaiah Stevens and McKenna Hoshfield. Let's send it out to Matt for the double-headed GOAT interview.
Thanks, Matt. Okay, so we have an interview that everyone's been waiting for. The swooshers themselves, number 4 and number 4, who are we here with today?
Isaiah Stevens, number 4.
Yep.
McKenna Hoshfield, number 4.
When they retire number 4 at CSU, what number 4 are they going to retire?
Both of them.
Yeah,
Who's coming first?
they're gonna do it at the same time.
Okay, all right.
That's such a safe answer.
Can you dunk?
Yes.
No.
Say you get a technical, right? You get a T, you foul out. Do your best impersonation of your head coach.
I think he would try and turn it on the refs, like, and blame them.
Okay.
It wouldn't be my fault.
Gaslighting.
Yes, he would
Yes.
start gaslighting, which
Do you like gaslighting?
no, but might as well gaslight a ref every once in a while.
Who's your GOAT, LeBron or Jordan? In a hot dog eating competition.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
LeBron.
Yeah, probably LeBron.
I feel like he could house down some hot dogs for sure.
Where do you live?
Who's asking?
I think a lot of Moby would like to know where you live.
Not too far.
You don't live in the gym?
Oh. I like the way you think.
3-headed goat. Right, 3-headed goat. You. You. Who's the third?
Wait, hold on. We got it, Amy Van Dyken?
Bradley Van Pelt?
No. Swimmer. She was like in Olympia. I seen it on the wall walking to the practice facility.
What do you have to say to people that say you're too small?
Try to come guard yourself.
That's a good one.
You're gonna share? I kind of just.
The chip on your shoulder.
You ever? There's a big chip on your shoulder? Or?
That is a pretty large chip too.
Yeah.
That was well done.
Who's winning a one-on-one, you or Adam Sandler?
Not me. What?
Yeah, 100%.
Adam Sandler can ball, though.
He can, but he's like old.
What is the most important muscle as a basketball player?
Muscle?
I'm gonna go with the brain.
The brain.
And I'm sure someone's gonna be like, no, it's not a muscle. What?
It's not your heart?
Oh, wow. That's a good one, too.
All right, let's get into our true or false segment. You have a shooter sleeve that you've never washed. For good luck. You've airballed a free throw.
Yes.
No.
I have to. You've broken someone's ankles.
True.
True.
You've gotten your ankles broke.
Also true. Sadly.
Okay, you watch Like Mike before every game.
False.
High level movie though.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
This could be one of your last interviews in Moby.
Man.
This could be. Is there anything? What makes this place so special?
The people.
That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
I'd probably say like the crowds, the energy. When it's packed in here, it's crazy.
Okay, so we're gonna do a little dunk contest. You can zoom up on the backboard. Zoom up on the backboard. We're officials, say real Mountain West officials. Okay, Mountain West. Coming hot. The approach. There it is. Oh, come on! My God! There we go. Is that coming hot? Oh yeah! Wait a windmill! Yeah, wait a windmill! Wait a windmill! That was good. Give it a little feel.
I can toss it to you?
Yeah, you can toss me. Oh, there it is! There it is! 10 because I was in it. 10 because I was in it. Hit it off the wall. You're gonna hit it. Oh, get off. Get a 3, miss, get your rebound. Cookies, oh no! Off the wall!
That was actually nice.
Run two. Give it go again. Hit it back out. Pump fake. legendary. Give it a bah, bah.
Thanks for suiting up on this Thursday. Basketball is my favorite sport, and I do love the way they dribble up and down the court. Now, unfortunately, it's all the news we have for you tonight. Make sure to tune in into our next sports show on Tuesday. We'll see you then.